really do disgust me, and honestly, Micah does deserve better.
Well, a lot has been said about me online. Now, I'm ready to tell my side of the story.
And if there's anybody that you would make a perfect match with, better than anybody else, it'd be the devil himself. So
Do you feel like you treated Micah fairly? Why did you say to Christine that she is your number one when you just then reassured Micah she's the person you wanted?
Right.
Because you basically lied. So who were you? So like, who were you lying to?
Christine. And I kept thinking to myself, she just wants to be in the house. She wants to come in. She's 100% doing it, saying everything to come in.
Who?
Christine. We wanted to, have her opportunity to maybe even meet someone or, I don't know, screen time, whatever it is. Like Nigel was saying that she broke his trust. So what happened there? Like you want to spit fire at me and say that I done this and that. What did you do?
So you kind of bumped into the whole cast at the Netflix, the summer reality party.
Yeah, at the actual party in the evening when we spoke, there's a video.
There's gossip happening right there.
And then next thing I'm hearing from like the girls as well, they're saying that she wanted to kiss me.
Wow.
So,
and this was just about a month ago.
And then I see a message on her phone from someone that's in production, and I'm like,
we are back with another episode of Reality with Will and Jovi, and you know what's to come. All the tea, all the gossip. And I don't know about you, but I have been loving Perfect Match on Netflix. It's a big show, so why not get one of the stars of the show on? It's Kaz Bishop in the building.
Woo-woo.
Kaz, what have you done? What have you done?
I'm ready to spill the tea. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you've actually been in the studio before because you were on Date and Relate with your brother.
Yeah.
When was that, 2022?
2022, yeah.
Wow,
That
that's
was
2
like
years
2
ago.
years.
You're back and you made a reappearance on Perfect Match. When did you guys film that show?
So that was filmed last year. So 2023, it was August to about September.
So you went in there and around about episode 2, you met Micah. Let's just take a little trip down memory lane. What did you think of her when you first saw her?
All right, so going back, I'll be honest as well. So I remember seeing her show as well, like a little bit of her show from Love is Blind. She didn't get the great reception.
Yeah.
And I kind of went in there with that mindset of like, which I shouldn't do. It's always you're prejudging someone. And then I thought, she's a lovely girl, like attractive wise. Everyone in there is a very attractive. They're all beautiful people as well on the outside.
Oh, not on the inside?
Some of them.
Wow.
But we had a great conversation, but I kind of already had a connection with Xanthi, which you did see a little bit of, but not the full thing. So we kind of connected more on a deeper level in terms of like family when we was talking about things. And that was the reason why I kind of, cut Micah off and said, let me explore my option and go with Xanthi first, yeah.
Okay, so in that moment, did you, what was the vision? Like, in that, when you were getting to know Micah, did you think, all right, this is someone I could possibly be with outside of the show? Like, how deep was it for you?
You know what?
At that moment in time?
At the moment of time, the first time you mean, or the second time I actually got with her? Like, as in matched with her?
Yeah, because how many times? No, I'm talking about the first time. Like, the first
Was it
time.
the second, the third, the fourth?
Yeah. So you're aware of your behaviour. But we'll get into that in a second. So go on, the first time, like when you first set eyes on her and you start to get to know her and you connected. Because obviously, look, we only see in a 1 hour episode. So, there would have been more chats that you had of her that we didn't see. So when you first got to know her, like, what was the vision for you two in that moment in time?
In that moment of time, I just thought she's easygoing, easy to talk to. She seemed obviously quite interested because she made it clear. She said, I like you, I fancy you and all this sort. Like, some of them have said as well. So it was a kind of like everyone was kind of getting to know each other. But with Micah, we kind of got on a deeper level in terms of conversation. And then we had like a laugh and a joke. And I did find her quite funny as well. Yeah. So that was kind of something that appealed to me more than anything. It was more like a friendship. And then you could see it potentially growing into something.
Yeah. And was it episode 6, I think, when you went on the date with Holly?
Yes. Yeah, episode 6.
Yeah, you went on the date with Holly. And I think that probably would have been around about maybe your first test in this whole situation. Do you feel like Did you pass the test? Like, how did you feel in that moment? So obviously, like another woman who you're clearly attracted to as well is presented to you. Yeah. In that moment, did you think, right, I'd prefer her over Micah, or were you still kind of deliberating?
So, I was like, I liked Micah. We got on well. And obviously Holly came in with this different type of energy, like more like a physical kind of energy, which was like, that's one of my love languages, physical touch. So she came in straight off the bat, and our first date was basically we were touching each other, like more than anyone I've like met just within 5 seconds. Mm-hmm. And it was very intense in that sense. But it was kind of, I was always kind of in my head kind of thinking at the back that obviously Micah's there, but then I'm like, I've got to take this for the full experience. And that's kind of like where it kind of dynamics sort of changed. Mm-hmm. Where you see it from episode 6 carry on is I was like, I said to Micah as well, we're going to get tested in here. We're going to have people coming up to me and like chatting to me. They're going to have boys chatting to you. And if we end up getting back together, then that's how it's going to happen. I just said that someone's going to get upset. Doesn't matter who it is. You're not going to be able to probably make friends in this type of environment. And we just, we kind of had the conversations, but you don't see them. Obviously, Holly came in. Holly's got history with a couple of the other boys, so I kind of knew that, and that was kind of playing on my mind a little bit as well. So I was like, I don't really want to be, getting to know someone when the other boys, have already seen more of her than I have. You know what I mean?
Did you tell Holly that's why?
I spoke to Holly about it, and she even spoke to Harry, and I think she spoke to Steven about it, and said certain things, which again doesn't get shown, but it was all like their background and what they've been up to, and it was just kind of like a weird situation for me. Anyway, I was just like, I don't want to be a part of that. I'd rather start with someone new and have something fresh, and that's just me and her. Yeah.
Remember when you came back, I think you said to Micah, like, I'm leaning more towards you. What does that mean, leaning? Like, that's not reassuring somebody that, do you get what I mean? That's not reassuring somebody that you are for them. That's like, I'm swaying like an unsteady tree. So can you kind of see why she felt some type of way about that comment?
I understand. It was more of a sense of like the entertainment side of it, in terms of it being a show that you would, you don't know what's going to happen, and you're kind of leaving things on a cliffhanger. What you say is going to be portrayed in a way that will be edited to make it sort of like, oh, who's he going to go with? Because they kind of build you into it. The production almost plant the seed in your head about certain things, about, oh, like, who are you going to choose? Like, is it quite tough for you to choose? And you're then thinking, actually, it might be quite tough.
Yeah, they might make you think, but they won't force you to make any decision. No, they won't force you,
but then you kind of like, when you are talking about it, so when you do talk about it going forward, you're like, oh, actually, no, I'm leaning towards you, but I have said she is my type. And obviously it wasn't reassuring to her to hear that. So I could have changed my words, but it is what it is. I went with leaning towards you, as in like, I'm kind of more... You're more winning because I've spent more time with you, and I've got more things in common with you than I have with Holly.
Damn. And then there was Britain, who was putting pressure on you. There was just too much going on. There were so many. They were all putting pressure on you. So when she was putting pressure on, but I feel like you were having it from everyone. Like, I'm not gonna lie, right? My opinion is, Micah, can't you two see that? Like, no shade to you, but like, can't you two see the signs in this man? Like, he's a loose cannon, like that. Like, you were moving like a loose cannon on that show.
I was basically doing what the game was meant to be. You're meant to.
All right, so
you're meant to you're meant to basically get to know people. You're meant to, how can you get to know someone and they might be your perfect type. They might be your perfect match and whatever. That was the whole point of the show, is to get to know them. You can't get to know someone if you're just going to shut it off. You might be physically attracted to them, but if you just close it off, that's all you're going to know is the physical attraction. If you get to know them, you might be, they're physically attractive. And then there's a sort of deeper level as well. Like, there's emotional sides that you might like to them. And that was the way that I was kind of going with it. But they showed the more flirty side of things, of what my conversation was like. It's like, oh yeah, if you're flexible, can you put your hands behind you? You know what I mean? It was things like that, but we spoke about other things as well.
Damn.
Yeah.
And then there was the mixer as well with Christine. Guys, it's like a long list. Like a long list of women. A long list of women. But Christine was absolutely putting it on you. And to be fair, good on you though, because You didn't crack.
Yeah.
You didn't crack in there, really.
Okay. There's another.
Talk to me about the
thing.
mixer. What went down in the mixer? I know we saw the bits on the show, but what didn't we see?
Another thing with that one, okay, so again, the editing, mad on that one. They had me looking like I was talking to Christine for ages. Like, it was just me and her. Then it was like me and her on the floaties afterwards. That happened before we had the conversation by the rocks. Mm-hmm. So she can't swim as well. So I was like, all right, yeah, you get on the floaties. There's me diving in the pool anyway. All right, skipping forward now. We're having conversations and Christine's laying it on thick, like fully laying it on me, going, I know you want to kiss me. I'm looking into my eyes. You want to kiss me, all this and that. You're getting excited. And I'm like, no, I don't want to kiss you. And I said to her, I'm not going to do anything with you because obviously Micah's over there. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what's going on. And I'll need to speak to her. So this is everything that I was saying. None of that was put in the edit, in the final cut. Nothing was done like that. So it looked like I was just obviously entertaining the whole thing, flirting with her, doing everything. Obviously, I can't edit what I said because I said certain things. And that is just my personality. I'm very sociable. I am a flirtatious character as well. So that was where it kind of can lead people on.
Yeah.
But that's the name of the game.
Some people were annoyed that you called yourself an alpha on this show, and I know you've seen the comments. So how do you feel about that? Like, set the record straight on those comments, because people are like, if you're really an alpha, do you need to say you're an alpha? So I just have to leave it to you on that one, sir.
Okay, so that was like, again, I said I was an alpha. If anything, it should be, people should see that. And when people talk to me, there's a difference. They think that I am quite arrogant and I think that I'm like, I walk into somewhere and I own the room. I don't mean to do it, but that's the aura that I give off, right? So I don't really get told it. But when I was speaking to Christine and I said we was talking about it and she was like, oh, I like an alpha. And I was saying it, that was like just me, portraying it. Because obviously she doesn't know, we've only first time meeting. And when it come to the finale, I said it. I was aiming it towards Christine. Obviously, not Micah. What's his name? Nigel.
No, that was a shot at Nigel.
It took a stray bullet.
No, but that was a shot. That was now you've gone there. Yeah. That was a shot at Nigel. What did you say again?
I said you wanted something like you wanted an alpha, and you've
gone for the complete opposite.
Gone for the complete opposite. Yeah.
That is, come on. Why did you do Nigel like that? Is that your opinion of him? Because you've literally said, you've literally said to Christine, you've gone for the complete opposite, meaning Nigel is not an alpha. So do you stand on business with that comment?
He was very shy on there. So he didn't give off that character. And it was like, that's when I said it, it was harmless, but it was
that's not harmless, that's shady.
It wasn't at all. So you know what it was? I didn't think about it because I was just thinking at it and I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like it's a meaningless comment. Like I say it, I'll throw it in his face and I'll say it like that, how it is. And then obviously you can word things differently and say he's not like the most extrovert and all that lot. And that was kind of like what my point was when I was saying it. It just came out obviously differently.
And do you still agree with what you said? Or like
I'm gonna stand by it. Yeah. I'll stand by it.
What? Wait. So
Nigel, if you're listening, I think we're going to have to take this in the ring.
Have you and him had a conversation about that? Did he say anything?
No, he put something on his Insta. He done an Instagram post where he's sitting in his chair with his top off and it was Dragon Ball Z in the background, like the audio and all this. I thought, okay. And then he said, oh, we've got a battle. I was like, what we got a battle? Like, it's a duel at high noon? Like, what is this? Back in the day? Just say, if you want to go in the ring, we'll go in the ring.
Damn. But you and Nigel are cool though.
Yeah. No, we're all right. Like he's very easygoing. We had like a conversation at the summer break, Netflix summer break party, and we just spoke to each other like normal. I mean, it was what 10 months ago. Yeah. So it wasn't like he held on to that. Well, I'd say that he'd done obviously his Netflix, his Instagram post and all this sort. So
yeah, because that's a rude comment. You would. That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to make it make sense to you. You don't feel like it is what it is. You don't feel like he deserves an apology for that. None of that. No. You're not. No, I can't.
No, I'm joking. Right.
After the mixer, you kind of still reassured Micah that you still wanted her.
Yes.
Is that actually how you really, really felt though? Like hand on heart, or I feel like, right, from what I saw of you on the show, I feel like you were saying a lot of things to people's faces. Are you a people pleaser? Like, I feel like you didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. You were tiptoeing around. You were trying to manage the situation because you didn't want to actually hurt people. Because it seemed like you didn't want to tell people the truth.
Nice.
So by you telling her that you still wanted her after the mixer,
Yeah.
but then you told Christine that she's number one on your list.
Oh, at the mixer. Yeah.
So let's juggle these two things, right? So
Yeah.
you've told Micah, you know, like reassured her that you kind of still want her after all of that.
Yeah,
Like you've
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
told her that, you know, the temptation was there, but I didn't give in. But then you've also told Christine that she is number one, not number two, number one on your list. Can you? I want you to see how this comes across.
No, I see it. And the thing is, obviously, she was going on and on and on about it, and we was having a conversation which was like normal conversation. And then it got into about, you know, me, her, like me trying to pick her, and I kept thinking to myself, she just wants to be in the house. She wants to come in. She's 100% doing it, saying everything to come in.
Who?
Christine.
So do you feel like she was kind of essentially forging all of that just to get a spot in the house?
She was she was saying everything to try and get in the house. First of all, she's trying to kiss me for one. Then she's like, oh, you want me, I know you do, and all this sort. And I'm like, I don't know. It kind of was like almost throwing me back a bit. So then I was like...
Yeah, but it's not just her. You were playing a part as well.
Yeah, no, of course. I had said certain things and I was like, I said what I had to say in terms of how I didn't want to be disrespectful to anyone. I didn't want to say like, oh no, like... If it was like if Micah wasn't in the picture, yeah, Christine would have been an option as well. She would have been number one because of the fact of how her almost kind of characteristic is in terms of like, she's like very flirty as well. And I'm like obviously very flirty. So you could have a bit of, you know, fun with that, a bit of energy. And she is a very attractive girl. So in that sense of it, you don't know what could happen.
All right. But why did you say to Christine that she is your number one when you just then reassured Micah that she's the person you wanted?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So
let's have a chat.
Let's have a chat about that
then. Because you basically lied. So who were you? So like, who were you lying to?
Christine. I was lying to Christine in terms of the sense of like it was.
But why did you need to lie though?
Because it was like she was going on so much about it that I was like, I don't know how to end this conversation. Like I was like, let me just say yes and then I can get out of there. Because that's what happened. After I said it, she was like, oh, okay. And then it was like, I could walk away. You know what I mean? It got to that point where it was just so much, like she was like going on and on about it. That I was like, I'm just going to say yeah and then I'm going to get out of here. I'll crack on and do what I need to do. And then obviously I started speaking to the boys. And then obviously the boys started telling me about Micah and what she done in the beach on her side. And when I watched it, they showed like 5 minutes of that, not even probably 5 minutes of like what had happened on their side, but there was all stuff that was on the boys' side that was all videoing. Like they were there for the same amount of time, but yet we got shown a lot more of what was going on our side than theirs. And then when I got told that, obviously she was saying to, you know, oh, she's the only one, she's open and all this sort to it. So that's when I was like...
Was she saying that she's open?
Yeah, she was saying to this is what they don't show. That's what I'm saying to you.
All right, so explain that. So what happened that we didn't see? Because that's thrown the woodworks in the spine. I'm confused now.
So she's saying to like the boys that she was the only one that's probably potentially like the open one out of all the girls. She feels like, you know, that she was... she said that she felt like she wasn't in a secure place and all that, which I understand because I was... you know, talking to people and everything like that. She was the one that was, in one sense, when you got one person that's trying to be loyal and stick by someone, and then you've got the other person that is just like trying to explore other options in terms of like chatting to people to get to know them and see what potentially might happen. Yeah. And then if you're always then going back to that person and getting picked, you should, in that instance of being on a TV show, it would be like, you should feel a bit more like, oh yeah, he is coming back to me. So if he's going and like entertaining or talking to other people, but he's still at the end of the day coming back, you might be like, oh yeah, no, he is choosing me. And I get it. Certain things that happened obviously on their side, when the boys told me that she was, you know, she's open and she's like wants to, you know, was like, oh, I would speak to other people and I would get to know you and all this sort of, but she didn't tell me that. Whereas I said that to her, that's what I'm going to do. So again, another thing they didn't show is when we had the conversation, I'm saying, if you tell me that you're going to go and speak to people and you're going to have conversations and you want to be open to getting to know people, just let me know. I've told you already that that's probably going to happen. And if we come back to each other, then that's what it is. We're going to go back to each other and then continue on this journey. But again, they didn't show that and she didn't tell me that. Also, they didn't put in another factor. The girls come up to me and told me about this guy called Cole, who I don't know what show he was from, but she was saying if he comes in here, put me on a date with him. So I didn't get told this. The girls came over and told me this, and I had to speak to Micah, and I had a conversation with Micah about it, and I said, why didn't you tell me? We literally had the conversation about 3 hours ago saying, if someone comes in here, like, who is it that's going to mainly, like, might take your fancy and all this? And then I said to her, look, I don't think there is anyone that is going to, that I know of from the Netflix realm that's going to come in and just blow me away and be like, oh, I don't know who's going to come in. And she knew about this person but didn't tell me. So that's why I was like, all you need to do is just have that conversation with me and tell me that he's going to be there. We're not in like a full-on relationship. We're not fully together.
But it didn't happen though. Do you know what I mean? So that's just like, if it happens.
Yeah, no, of
but
course.
Is it that bad? Is that deep? Really?
No, that's what I'm saying. If you just say like, because I have to find out from other people like what you're saying, and
I don't think this is that bad.
So, but
I don't think it's that deep, Kaz.
Yeah, but it's saying one thing to me and then saying one thing to her, and it's exactly the same thing that I would do. I was doing, but then I get told off for it. But then they didn't show the fact that she did. Yeah. So that was where it gets shown that I'm always the one getting the blame.
Yeah.
So
fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play.
That's why I shouted out saying I don't like double standards, because I'm getting like, you're moaning at me for shit that obviously that I'm doing, because I said to you I'm exploring options and I explained this to you, but yet you're telling me you want to be with me and you're not open to it. But then I hear about this guy called Cole who you are open to, and then I hear from the boys that you are open to speaking to everyone else still. When I'm like, which one is it? Just tell me the truth.
Damn. And then when everyone basically joined the house, I think you guys were playing a game and you and Holly were kissing. Now this kiss, right? It felt like I was watching it. It lasted for a while.
It did not.
It looks like it lasted for a while. Like I don't know whether you're trying to say that they put slow-mo in it and it lasted for more seconds, but this kiss did not look like a quick, it's a game.
Yeah.
This kiss looked passionate, and then she saw it, and then she was fuming. Why were you fuming at the fact that she was fuming? Because then you got mad. So I want to know what your thought process was. Because she obviously said that she felt uncomfortable that you had done that in front of everybody, because she then feels embarrassed again. Yeah. Now, why were you then getting mad at her expressing her emotions about how she felt in that moment?
Okay, yeah. I would hold my hands up and I'll say that the way I handled that wasn't the greatest, obviously, at all, because I shouted at her. It was a lot of things in terms of that, obviously, tension-wise we had already spoken before about, you know, the whole boys situation from what happened when we were separated, when the girls had their girls' day. So we already had that conversation, and then we went off again. So we split, and again was all mingling and everything. Production was like, oh, we're going to have a game. So this was the game that everyone was doing. They set it all up and had everything already going. So I was like, oh, jumped in. They said, in the thing they said, I think if you can hear it, from what I remember anyway, because I first watched it, they were saying, kiss the girl that is your type. Mm-hmm. So I'm obviously looking at it, I'm thinking, obviously, Micah's over there having a conversation. We're looking at the table, I'm like, who is my type on here? Obviously, Christine had kissed Nigel on that one. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go and kiss Holly. So in my head, I wasn't thinking. I just thought, I'm going to go and kiss her. Like, that was just my intrusive thought that went, let me go and do it.
She was fuming.
Oh, I know. I didn't know she was there at all, which sounds worse.
And did you not match up with Christine, like, right after that?
No. So it wasn't right after. I was actually saying to production, I want to go. I wanted to leave.
Because it looks like, when I was watching it looks like you were like, right, I'm just going to get my own back. Yeah. Match up with Christine. Yeah. And it looked like is that not going to make the situation even worse? Because at this point, the situation is as bad as it can possibly be. That was going to be even worse.
Yeah, I know.
So you were telling production you wanted to go, but did you actually want to leave?
I wanted to leave. Yeah, 100% I was going to go.
Why? Why did you feel like that strongly about wanting to go in that moment in time?
So after it was everything so intense in there that it gets to a point where you don't want to be around. You don't know what is true, what is fake, and like what is actually going on. So I went in there. I was like, yeah, I had the mindset of going in and just having like a good time and just seeing what happens. I was open to opportunities, and then in that instance when we had the argument, it was so much emotion that was happening. I just thought I just want to get out of here now. I'm just done with it, and I wanted to leave. And I was speaking to production. I said, look, can I go? Like, what's the deal? They was like, oh, is there anyone here that you want to match up with? And I was looking around going, people were getting kicked out at different points. I don't know what was going on. It was like, I was having my own thing that was happening. And then I see some people had left. Some people had matched up already. So I was like, you know what? My head was all over the place. So I was like, I don't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know who I wanted to match with. I literally was walking around, minding my own business. Christine literally popped up in my face and saying, so what are you going to do? And I went, I'm going to go. And then she was like, why are you going to leave? You've got someone here that is like wants to give you an opportunity, wants to talk to you. You're telling me I'm your number one. You're telling me this and that and all this. And I said, look, my head's not in the right place. I'm looking to just get out of here. And she was like, she kept going on again. So I was literally just said to her, I was like, I don't know if you could see it, but I was like, at one point I was just fed up and I went, do you want a match? And then she went, she literally looked at me and went, she was like, are you for real? I was like, yeah, do you want a match? Like that. And this was my exact expression. I was like, yeah, do you want a match for real? She was like, you know what you were doing. You're like, she said to me that I am a psycho. She called me a psycho from that point onwards and was saying, she was like, yeah, you're a psycho. You knew what you was doing, like playing me like that and then doing it to the last minute. And I'm like, oh God, like just.
So right, so you matched with Christine in that moment out of what?
Because they didn't want me to go. Like production didn't want me to leave.
So you basically felt like you had no choice but to match with her.
There was other people had matched up and they had already gone. So I would have.
So Christine was your only option.
Christine was the option because she came straight to me and was like in my face.
Did she know what the deal was in that moment, or did she genuinely feel like, right, he's matching with me because he wants to pursue?
I don't know what she thought. She in her head, she said to me that obviously I knew what I was doing and I'm a psycho. I'm playing a bit. So I don't know what she was trying to get at that point, which was a bit confusing. But again, my head wasn't thinking straight. I was just like, there was so much emotions going on. I was just like, I was kind of done up and I was fed up with it, to be fair. So that's why I was like, I wanted to leave. Like the heat was getting to me. The tension in there was just done. I was just like, yeah, let's just go and I can chill out and come back in the finale or even leave. I don't know.
Yeah. But then obviously you were saying that in that moment you felt like you had to match up with her, right? Whereas in her mind, she's probably thinking, oh, good, yeah.
Finally.
He wants to. So there's two different reasons as to why this matching has happened.
Yeah.
And there's no communication about the way you're feeling to her. So she's probably thinking, oh, he feels the same way as me.
Yeah.
So when you all look back in it and you watch it, can you see why she feels that way?
No, 100%. Of course, you can see it when you look at it from the outside. When you're in it, it's a completely different situation. Yeah. Looking on the outside, I see why she, felt the way that she did and she called me, matching up with the devil and all this sort, and I could see the way how she felt about it. But
do you feel like you treated Christine fairly?
In the hindsight of it, no, because I probably should have just said to her, look, I'm not actually in the right frame of mind. I kind of used a different sort of tone in that sense. I didn't really say to her, look, I'm not really feeling it, and I'm like, I wasn't really involved in it. I didn't really give her much, even when we were together, I wasn't really giving her much of the opportunity. And it was unfair to her because, I understand it, but at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, she just wants to be in the house. Like, I think she wanted to be in there. She wanted to, have her opportunity to maybe even meet someone or, I don't know, screen time, whatever it is. Who knows?
Do you think she was maybe playing a bit of a game then?
The way she's a very forward character, so you can see that she wanted to get in there. There are a couple of people that do like play game. Look at Brighton, like he was saying all sorts to like, you know, between Micah and Elise, and he ended up getting in. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like they were kind of doing the same thing. That's why you see all of this, you hear all of this, and that's why you're like, oh, let me just. That's why I was like, okay, I'm done. I wanted to just get out at that point, and I was like, yeah, it's a bit much.
Yeah.
And you don't really understand. You don't really think about your own actions at that time. Like I just thought you're kind of just fed up with certain things. So you kind of don't really give a lot of attention, a lot of effort into, I don't know, getting to know someone or making things work or giving someone the best impression of yourself, which then got displayed as on that when, you know, the cameras are all rolling and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah. There was one point where you said that Christine's not your usual type. What's your type?
My usual type. My type. I've got different types, right? So it will be Christine's she's very tall, which I would go for girls that are probably a little bit shorter than me, or like so. Then I've got like a bit of height on them. Not like saying that height is everything. Obviously, you know, big up the short kings and everything. It's just preference. You know what I mean? In terms of that, it's just preference. Like I like a girl that's got a bit more curves, a bit more like meat on their bones. You know, like that type of thing. Is kind of like where I go for. Then you've got the other options of like eyes, like you've got like really nice eyes, like pretty eyes, they just stand out and they pop. A nice smile, nice teeth, like things like that, and you've got cute features. And that's like my type. So and hair color doesn't matter. Like you could be blonde, pink, brunette, whatever, orange. Yeah. You know.
Do you feel like you treated Micah fairly?
Looking back at it, no. There's a couple of things, obviously, the way I spoke to her in the argument, and obviously when I kissed Holly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like other than that, were my actions in terms of how we expressed everything and how I expressed things to her, because I told her this is how it's going to be, then no, because I did explain that we are gonna get tested and we are gonna have to speak to people. You're gonna go on dates. You're gonna speak to, you know, whoever you want to speak to and try and get to know someone. So yeah, that was what the aim of the game was, and that's what I done.
Yeah. And do you feel like you were 100% honest with Micah throughout the whole thing?
I was honest with her throughout the whole up to, because I even expressed like the date that I went on. I even told her what we did, like, and I said what we spoke about, and I mentioned Micah as well, and I said to her that we are together in this, and I even told Holly, I was going, yeah, this is a test. This is a test, and Holly said, "Can you stop saying that, because it feels bad. I feel like it's not right, not fair on me." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, you are right. It isn't fair on you. I shouldn't really say that. I should just say it to Micah because it is." But again, yeah, they don't show those type of things on there.
Yeah. What about the time when you told Christine that she's number one? Did Micah know about that, or did you tell?
So we had I didn't tell her about that, no, because everyone was having their conversations. She had her conversations with Justin. She had her conversation with Justin, and she obviously said that he was cute and everything. So, you know, I don't know what was going on in that conversation. That obviously got filmed but didn't get put into it. She obviously had the conversations with Brighton and all this sort, and I don't even know what they said. So, again, if I'm being honest, no, I wasn't. I would say I wasn't 100% honest with her in that sense, because I said certain things and I didn't relay that back to her. But I don't feel like she was 100% with me either.
Okay, wow. So Michael was on a podcast and she basically said that you guys slept together. So were people sleeping with each other in that place?
I don't actually know.
Were people like having conversations about them going the full way? Because I didn't, that wasn't aired. Like, that wasn't, I thought that, do you know, like on Love Island, like people will have like a chat or they'll be like, oh yeah, we went the full way all night. Like, did no one mention it? Did no one say kind of?
Yeah, this is the thing. It's where it gets confusing, because one person would say one thing and then the person that they were matched with would say something completely different. So then it's like, who is telling the truth?
But was there chatter about people sleeping with each other?
Yeah. There was talk about people sleeping together with each other.
So the boys would come back and say this happened and that happened.
Oh yeah. In the morning, the guys you have your breakfast chat, and it's like everyone was talking and saying, oh, like what they did last night, whether they might have, like the girls got a bit hands on, or they got hands on with the girls, and yeah.
Was it everybody? Was it some?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't everyone. It was some people. Yeah. Some people like left it towards the end of everything. So when it was like everything was basically already done, like the finale or whatever, or even when everyone was back at the hotel.
Damn. Now, what is the situation after the show? So obviously you and Micah, you were kind of still together, obviously at the finale. Micah said that you did you kiss somebody during the press run, or did Christine say at a party? So what's all of this about?
Right.
Okay, who were you kissing after the camera stopped rolling?
So I'm not gonna say the name of her because obviously I don't want her to get involved. She can if she wants to. If she wants to say what her point of it was, but I basically
was it someone you were like partnered with in the show?
No. It wasn't someone I was partnered with. It was a cast member, and I said to them, like, obviously we had a good conversation. I didn't, bring you into the villa when maybe I could have done, because there was a point when obviously I was talking to everyone, and everyone was trying to like break us up and all this sort, and everyone was getting involved. So I was kind of like, yeah, maybe I could have brought you in, and you could have had maybe an opportunity to then meet someone as well. And I said, look, I'm sorry that didn't actually end up happening. Obviously, technically, it isn't my fault. Anyone else could have matched with her if they wanted to. But so, and I literally was like, oh, sorry, I gave her a hug. And I went, and I was very drunk, so I went and kissed like on the cheek. I was doing like a European mwah, mwah type thing. That was it, right? Then next, I get we're all out together, so all of us sort of gone to like into Mexico, into Tulum, sorry, the strip. Yeah. And hit up this restaurant. We was all drinking, having a good time, and then I see a message on her phone from someone that's in production, and I'm like, that's a bit weird. What
was the nature of the message?
He was like, where, like, kind of like, where are you? Trying to meet up, basically, and like it wasn't a certain thing, because like no one really speaks to production. Production aren't meant to be mixing with us. You know what I mean? They're meant to be doing their job, and they're meant to be separate from us. We were allowed to go out and do our thing.
Yeah. Was it a flirtatious message, or was it?
There was more messages above that as well, and then there was also the fact that I said to her like, oh, he fancies you, he likes you, and all this sort. And she was like, yeah. So I was like, why are you entertaining it? If you did, if you're thinking that type of way about me, and you're saying these things, then is it true, or are you still?
Did she ever admit to kind of like liking this person from production, or was she kind of?
No, she didn't admit it. She was saying, as if I was being stupid and I'm acting up, and I was like, I don't care. Like, if you want to talk to me, you want to do your thing, do your thing. Like, we'll go our separate ways after this, and that was kind of like how we then ended up getting into an argument. And then she went to me. She then said to me, "Oh, you kissed this girl and blah, blah, blah." And like, it all blew up from that night. And it was like, I was like, who did I kiss? Like, you tell me, because like, where are you getting this from? And if you knew about it, then why didn't you tell me earlier? Or, you know what I mean? It was just weird. So it was a weird situation to be in. And then after all of that happened, I wake up in the morning to a message saying that I truly hate you and all this. And I was like,
wow, that's a strong word.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, fine, fair enough. Like, I tried to defend it that night, and I tried to say what I had to say, but she wasn't having it, so I just left it there and was like, okay, that was it.
On the finale, it looked like you were about to say it to Micah, but did you ever tell her you loved her? Because remember, you were like, "Love," but you never completed the word.
Yeah.
Did you love her?
No. What I was gonna say was, because I was talking about the backflip that we done, and I said, I was gonna say I love that about you. Like, I love that about her, is that she's like very adventurous. She's up for like doing whatever. Like, if I wanted to, like, you jumping off of a boat, like things like that. And then the way in my head, my thought process, because again, I said, I haven't got a filter. So when I was about to say it, I stopped myself from saying it, because it switched in my head. I was like, was I about to say I love you? And I was like, no, I wasn't. I was going to say, love that about you. And then that in my head, because I stopped it there, I was like, bollocks. And then kind of switched off, and I was like, oh yeah, that's just gonna look terrible. But it was genuinely gonna say that I love that about her and the way that she is, just to, you know, go into things and try things. And that was my main thing. Like, even when we done the salsa dancing, she was, you know, doesn't really dance, but she was up for doing it. And I was like, that's what I like in a partner. You know, you want someone that's going to be experimental with you, try new things. And again, Christine, she done her YouTube video telling me about, you know, alert, this guy's an actor and all this sort. You don't even know what I was going to say. Like, your podcast is that the little video that you done, or long video for whatever reason, would have been about 1 second. That's it. Like 5 seconds, you would have been done. You're talking about everyone else in their relationship. And the thing is, I'll say one thing on there is they were the winners. Where were they? Like, Nigel was saying that she broke his trust. So what happened there? Like, you want to spit fire at me and say I done this and that. What did you do? You know what I mean?
Let's talk about that, right? So obviously, Christine and Nigel won. Like, do you feel like they deserve to win?
No
Why?
way. Because they were literally there for like 5 seconds. They didn't know each other. Like, they done one challenge together that they won. Everyone else had been there for a lot longer. Steven and Alara deserved to win because they were the strongest throughout the whole thing. Like, they were together. We put them on their own separate dates to see. That was like their last final test for each other because Nigel was Alara's type and Britain was Steven's type. So that was their both major test. They both passed and they both went back to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They deserved to win it. And if not, then I would have said it would probably been Chris and Talou.
Yeah,
as well.
And obviously they didn't work out, Nigel and Christine. Are you shocked? Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked either. Everyone else had been there for a lot longer. Steven and Alara deserved to win because they were the strongest throughout the whole thing. Like, they were together. We put them on their own separate dates to see. That was like their last final test for each other because Nigel was Alara's type and Britain was Steven's type. So that was their both major test. They both passed and they both went back to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They deserved to win it. And if not, then I would have said it would probably been Chris and Talou.
Yeah,
as well.
And obviously they didn't work out, Nigel and Christine. Are you shocked? Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked either. Like,
what happened? Like, did we know what actually, like, what was the situation? What was the story of that?
To be honest, I don't know the full story. I'm not gonna act like I do and say anything. I just, from what I've heard in terms of obviously what Nigel said, and he said that she felt like she had broken his trust. That's all I could say on it. I don't know it too much.
Damn.
Yeah.
And with the Harry and Melinda situation, right, about obviously like the kiss, who knew about what really happened? Because at the point, like, obviously on the show, it seemed like everyone was being hush-hush.
Yeah.
No one was trying to back up Melinda. Like, did everyone in there kind of know, but no one wanted to say it? No one wanted to get involved? Like, who knew that Harry and Melinda actually kissed?
I don't know because
Did you know?
No.
Wow.
I didn't even know until like Harry was like basically crying on the bus back to the villa. Like, I didn't find out about it until then because it was such a. I remember seeing a little commotion going on. The people, everyone's talking about it, and then someone was saying about as Harry was talking to production, and then after that, I don't know what happened. Like, no one saw anything really, because so it was only literally them two. And I was like, I don't know what was going on, so I kind of just stayed out of it. If it wasn't involving me, I was like, I'm not getting involved. On my hands, I'm not even bothering.
Damn. So you kind of bumped into the whole cast at the Netflix, was it the summer reality party?
Yes.
When was this? It was a couple of months ago, right?
So yeah, it was.
Was it last month?
It was, yeah, end of May.
Yeah,
End of
anyway.
May, yeah.
So you saw the cast.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
Christine. You saw Micah.
yeah.
What was the energy? What was the real energy? Because now the show's out,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, you know, what was the energy like? Did they say hi to you? Did you say hi to them? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I said hello to Christine. Christine gave me daggers, and I was like, oh, whatever. You're still gonna hold a grudge over 8, 9, whatever months ago. It's not even that deep. And I said hello to Micah. Like, that was like the first time since the show. She obviously kind of just said hello, but I couldn't hear because she then said hello to Izzy, who was behind me, and she was obviously buzzing to see him. But at the actual party in the evening, when we spoke, there's a video.
Guys, I spy some gossip. There's gossip happening. Right there. Look at that gossip. Oh my God.
And you've got Elise saying, oh, there's, inside gossip. And then she's videoing me and Micah talking. So in this incident, Micah comes up to me and says, why are you acting weird? And I was like, I'm not acting weird. I'm just, doing the pictures, talking to people, networking a little bit. And it just didn't make any sense to me. So I was like, just had a conversation with her. And I was like, oh, I'm not acting weird. I'm just being normal. I'll say hello to you and I'll have a conversation with you. It's not even like there's anything wrong in what happened or anything like that. And yes, it wasn't that deep. So when we ended up, by the end of it, I said to her, I was like, is it me or is it you that's like toxic here? And she was like, I think it's me, like that, and walked off. And then next thing I'm hearing from like the girls as well, they're saying that she wanted to kiss me.
Wow.
So,
and this was just about a month ago. I mean, would you allow that to happen? Could you see anything rekindling in the future?
No. I'm not.
Why?
I'm not.
If she's up for it, why wouldn't you be up for it?
No. Not once you go down that rabbit hole and it's a dark path. As soon as she kind of said about the whole sort of toxic comment, I was like, nah, I'm not getting involved.
Do you think she is toxic?
I wouldn't say she's toxic. I feel like there's always just lessons to be learned in terms of like a relationship. Even myself, I've obviously got things to still learn. I'm still learning now on how I communicate different ways and act with certain people. I can be like a gentleman. I can be chivalrous, and I've got the tendencies to do all of those things. And then I just need to. It's been a long process for me in terms of communicating with my feelings because I don't genuinely communicate well with my feelings. My brother knows it as well. He's like, you are like a robot. You literally don't really express much. You don't talk about it and you don't say much about it. I kind of just like numb to certain things and just get on with what I need to get on with.
Yeah. So you've been getting a lot of backlash on social media.
Yes.
Like, how do you feel about the way you've been perceived on the show? Like, how do you feel about the public's perception of you? Do you feel like it's right?
In some cases, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And the ones that are, it's the negative comments that people make. They would say like, obviously, yeah, you're trash, you're this and you're that. Like that is, it's kind of like those things. I brush everything off anyway. My mum used to say, sticks and stones break your bones, but words will never hurt you. I live by that. And with regards to the, saying that you done Micah dirty, you done Micah this, that's your opinion. And it is the case. Yeah, I did do certain things and it got portrayed like that as well in other certain things as well. So it kind of was a mix. So you could see both. But then I got other people saying Micah's insecurities were too much for you and all this sort. And I was like, you know what? I didn't really see that, but maybe you are right. So it's like you kind of, again, looking at it from the outside and seeing different angles of it, you see another picture. So I kind of see both sides of it. And I think, yeah, I've had a lot of hate. And then I've also had a lot of like, you was real. You've done what you said what you had to say and all this sort. So I was like, yeah, people are going to make their own judgment of it.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to get off your chest after everything that's gone down? Is there anything you're feeling that you want to say about how you feel, just about the whole situation?
There is, of course, there is always going to be anything in this type of industry, in reality TV, you have to have like thick skin. Mental health is a serious thing in terms of when you're communicating with people that's online, in terms of trolls and all that lot, or just if you don't get the general sort of support that you need in general. And for me, obviously, as I said, I live by the fact that my mum's words, I kind of don't take things to heart. I get on with what I get on with. People don't know the real me. And plus it was a while ago, you're in different stages in your life. You change, you develop and you grow. And that's all it is. As long as you grow and you're growing in the right direction for the right reasons, then that's it. Just self-love and self-care.
Damn, Kaz, thank you so much for joining me on this show.
Thank you very much for having me.